Hello! The super-secret government institution Prescott turns orphan girls into cold-blooded, lethal killers from an early age. Director Hardiman's students are impeccable soldiers with no feelings or attachments, except for their best agent, number 83, named Megan. The sensitive girl is interested in the life of ordinary teenagers, but will she manage to become one of them? Megan is a model agent and the first in the group to receive a real assignment. She is sent to Moscow. The girl perfectly accomplishes the task of quietly seizing a secret suitcase from a designated individual. Carrying out her next missions in various cities and countries, Megan observes not only the players of the criminal underworld, but also the ordinary life of teenagers. It is alluring and fascinating, but out of reach for a secret agent. Distant from the carefree lifestyle of her peers, the curious Megan decides to learn about it from teen comics and movies. Watching youth comedies causes her to experience enthusiastic feelings, which are strictly forbidden in Prescott. Director Hardiman gathers the girls to designate a new target. Victoria Knox, an influential criminal figure, has appeared on the government's radar. The innocent-looking woman supplies weapons to terrorists and is very dangerous. The mission to apprehend Knox and deliver her to Prescott is assigned by Hardiman to Megan, the Agent 83. Agent 84 is unhappy with the director's decision. The temperamental redheaded girl has been jealous and hateful towards Megan since childhood and tries to discredit her at the meeting.
She's over there sniffing Kesha, the new fragrance by Kesha.
Director Hardiman notices Megan's girly magazine, sternly urges the girl to forget about her feelings and get her brain working if she wants to return from her mission in one piece. Unaware of the surveillance, Victoria Knox appears in Chechnya. The ruthless and vengeful criminal intends to settle accounts with her enemies, whom her accomplices have already captured. However, the encounter ends with a surprise. Beneath the death bag on the victim's head, there's Megan. The girl easily defeats the armed thugs, and a moment later, Knox is pulled high above the ground in a trap. But Megan too is caught in the same trap. Knox has her gun with her, and aiming at the agent, ruthlessly empties the clip. To save her own life, Megan decides to unhook the carbine and falls into the water from a tremendous height. Victoria Knox is pulled aboard the plane on a tether. The criminal smiles wearily and surrenders her weapon to Director Hardiman, who alarmingly notices that Agent 83 is not with her. The man orders Knox be taken away and tries to make contact with Megan, who has disappeared. Once on the riverbank, the girl hears Hardiman's message, but Megan deliberately does not take the opportunity to report her coordinates and return to the team, because suddenly another thought occurs to her.
But there was no turning back now. This was my chance to escape.
The girl doesn't hesitate and throws the receiver into the water. Hardiman, on the other hand, disappointedly informs the team that Agent 83 is eliminated. An enthusiastic Megan is about to start an exciting new life through an international student exchange program. The girl chooses the pleasant Larson family of Newton on the website and immediately sets off to meet them. The family welcomes their guest with kindness and gives her a bright, separate room with a hand-drawn welcome poster on the wall. That evening, the family has their first dinner together. Penny and Parker are friendly to Megan, but the stubborn Liz is not too good-natured and demonstratively leaves the table. The next day, Megan goes to school for the first time.
Normal 16-year-old.
However, the girl is not able to behave just like everyone else. After watching teen movies, Megan chooses an outfit that is too bold, which provokes mockery from those around her. The girl now risks becoming an outcast. In addition, Liz doesn't want to talk to her. She gives Megan some normal clothes and quickly leaves so that they aren't seen together. According to tradition, the director is supposed to introduce the new girl at the general meeting. Backstage, Megan is greeted by a nice guy named Roger, who is in charge of the local band's lighting design. The naive Megan expects a friendly greeting, but the kind-hearted Roger cautions her before she takes the stage.
No, just whatever happens out there, don't let him get to you.
On stage, Megan finds herself in the worst situation for a newcomer. She is met with a wave of taunts from ruthless teenagers in the audience. The humiliation stops when Cash, a popular, handsome singer from the local band Emoticon, appears on stage. Fascinated, Megan watches her savior's performance from backstage. Roger, on the other hand, is charmed by Megan. The boy offers to sit with her in class, removing the organs of a dissected frog from his chair. The pair has a nice talk and gets along well, but it doesn't matter to Megan, as she sneaks a peek at the handsome Cash. And to set them up for a paired class at the next science lesson, she sneaks into the teacher's office at night. Before the class begins, however, Megan has an argument over the seat next to Cash with his other admirer, Cindy. The teacher resolves the conflict by appointing the boy as his lab assistant. To take out her rival, The sly Cindy and her friend come up with a plan to embarrass Megan. With a friendly look, they offer the girl to compete for the role of team mascot. Megan is hesitant, because according to her information, only losers perform in the mascot costume. But the sneaky girls assure her that this is the way the girl can get close to the handsome Cash. Not suspecting a catch, the determined Megan goes to the qualifying competition for the team mascot position. The judge, without looking at her perfect acrobatic tricks, awards the girl the coveted spot. The carefree teenage life Megan has dreamed of is suddenly invaded by a mysterious white van. The girl believes that Hardman has found her and put her under surveillance. The stalkers catch up with Megan right at the cheerleading rehearsal, when she is among her peers in a Viking mascot costume performing her part of the show. 3 masked kidnappers infiltrate the field and pounce on the girl, but the former special agent easily scatters the attackers and interrogates one of them by ripping off his mask. Megan's fears were unfounded. It turns out to be a traditional kidnapping of the team mascot. The distraught girl discovers that her fight has been videotaped and runs off the field in shame. At the Prescott government facility, meanwhile, Hardman interrogates Victoria Knox. The director treats her gently and offers the woman ideal prison terms if the criminal cooperates and gives up the identities of her arms suppliers. Agent 84 shows up at the interrogation with an important piece of information for Hardman. Before the director and the agent disappear behind the door, the sly Knox winks at the red-haired girl. Megan's next appearance in class is greeted by a standing ovation from her peers. Liz explains to the stunned girl that a video of her has garnered tens of thousands of views online, and overnight, she has become incredibly popular. Megan is frightened by this turn of events, because now Hardman can find her. But the attention from Cash makes her forget about this. The guy invites the girl to his band's performance. Embarrassed and delighted by the proposal, she agrees. However, Liz reveals something else as well.
You may have all of these people fooled, but you and I both know that you are sketchier than a 2 a.m. Waffle House.
Megan arrives at the band's venue ahead of time, and Roger, who silently approaches her from behind, takes a couple of professional strikes from the girl. The boy doesn't hide his sympathy for Megan, but the moment of privacy is disrupted by the arrival of the band, led by Cash. The handsome man asks Roger to finish getting his equipment ready and takes Megan with him. The guy performs his new romantic song for the girl. After the concert, the couple stays together and plays video games. Cash takes the opportunity to try and kiss Megan, but the girl does not agree to get close. To smooth over the awkward moment, the guy invites his girlfriend to a party at Gooch's house, and an enthusiastic Megan promises to come. But on the way home, the former special agent is captured by Hardman's agents. The girl regains consciousness, tied to a chair in a damp, dark hangar. Director Hardman intends to interrogate her to find out who Megan now works for. Assistant Pedro rolls out a cart full of torture tools. The first to go is a shot of truth serum in her thigh. In a clouded state of mind, the girl reveals her feelings to Hardman.
I don't think I really want to be an assassin. Can I please be excused from this secret mountain killing school?
Megan's tears have touched even the iron heart of Pedro. Hardman, however, remains adamant and accuses the girl of desertion. Megan realizes that she must return and asks the director to give her time to cover up her tracks and come up with a reason for the departure. The man agrees, and Megan, still under the influence of truth serum, is dumped on the doorstep of her house. She is met by Parker and Liz. The latter is surprised by Megan's condition, and even more by her honest words about Liz needing to take off her mask of sarcasm and build relationships with her peers. After finishing her lecture, the girl falls unconscious. Roger and Megan have lunch together. The couple talk about life and their expectations. The boy shares his dream of going to college, while Megan confesses that she simply enjoys the present with no plans for the future. Roger compliments Megan, and at this moment, Gooch and Cash show up, hearing the familiar sound of a guitar. Megan sits there like she's on pins and needles. Noticing this, Roger ends the conversation with sadness and understanding. As per her mother's instructions, Liz goes to the party at Gooch's house with Megan. Gooch, dressed as a Viking, meets them by falling down the stairs. To forget the scene, Liz decides to have a drink. In the crowd of teenagers, Megan looks for handsome Cash, but finds Special Agent 84 instead, who introduces herself as Heather. The girl drags her into the ladies' room for a conversation, where it is revealed that Hardman has put her on watch to monitor the execution of their arrangement. Looking for Megan, Liz enters another bathroom, where she finds Gooch sitting alone. The guy tells her his real name, Bernard, and insistently asks her to stay for a chat and a drink of tequila. At first, out of habit, the girl refuses and is about to leave, but remembers Megan's words on the porch of the house and stays with the boy. Roger arrives at the party. He shows up just for Megan and tries to find her in the crowd, and discovers her in the group of teenagers playing a card game at the very moment the girl is kissing Cash. Hurt and unnoticed, Roger leaves immediately. Liz and Megan return home at 6 in the morning. In spite of the vulgar drawing on her face, Liz smiles sincerely and friendly at Megan for the first time as she listens to her mother's scolding. A bus arrives to pick up Megan, driven by Hardman. The man informs the girl that he is here to pick her up right away. He informs her that Victoria Knox has escaped from Prescott with the help of an unknown accomplice, and that Megan is now in danger. But the girl doesn't want to give up her dream life. Liz has just started to treat her normally. Roger has become her best friend, and the coolest guy in school has asked her to prom. Principal Hardman has no choice but to accept this decision. After giving the girl a warning that he won't come back to rescue her, he leaves. In the car, Megan and Liz are talking about what happened at the party. The blonde has managed to wipe the drawing off her face, but she is still upset with her friend and says that Meg is acting like a ridiculous teenage movie character. At this point, a black tinted car pulls up alongside them on the road, with the muzzle of a gun peering out the lowered side window. The girls manage to dodge the bullets, and Megan gets behind the wheel. In this tense situation, Megan has to quickly explain her identity to Liz. The stalker wants to kill her. She is not from Canada at all, but from a secret government agency that she escaped by faking her death. The criminal's car is keeping up, and the chase leads the girls to a dead end in a car junkyard. There is no other choice but to ram the chaser's car. Megan decides to take this desperate step and presses the gas pedal to the floor. Her opponent does the same. In a short straight line, the distance between the cars is quickly closing, and Liz, terrified of a possible collision, snatches the steering wheel from her friend and avoids head-on impact. After examining the wrecked car, Megan realizes that it was Heather. From the hospital, where she brought the wounded Liz, the girl calls the director Hardman and learns from him the shocking news. Heather is listed as dead after Knox's escape, and Hardman did not assign her to follow the girl at all. The former special agent asks for protective equipment, but the director reminds the girl of their arrangement. He is not going to save her. Overwhelmed by what is happening, Megan sits in the hospital corridor and sees Roger coming out of Liz's room. The girl is glad to see him, as she really needs her friend's support right now. But Roger coldly withdraws, saying that maybe Cash will be here soon. Megan walks into Liz's room. She's fine and only got a couple of bruises. The conversation immediately turns to Megan's secret life, and she announces her intention to leave the Larsons for their own safety. But turns out the petite blonde in the hospital bed is not the sort to be easily frightened, and convinces Megan to stay with them. As soon as Liz is discharged from the hospital, the girls begin preparing for prom, having fun trying on dresses, shoes, and Megan's deadly weapons. The girls face the prom day in full readiness. At the party, however, Megan only gets to watch from the sidelines as her peers have fun. Cash, citing his band's upcoming performance, refuses to dance with her. Seeing the lonely Roger, the girl decides to get closer to him, but the guy does not allow this opportunity and delays the conversation. Nevertheless, Megan heads to Roger with an apology and a frank confession that she wants to be with him in the future. The couple's conversation is interrupted by Heather. It turns out that she and Roger are together at the ball. Megan is astonished, but isn't going to give up, and tells Liz her new plan of action. To get her boyfriend back from the red-haired girl, Heather accepts the challenge, and a fight breaks out between the girls, crushing chairs, tables, and surprising everyone around them with impeccable fighting techniques. The girls fiercely sort out their arguments. In the heat of the battle, the opponents find themselves in the kitchen. With a knife in hand, Heather waltzes around looking for her victim, at the same time revealing her deal with Victoria Knox, who should now be at the Larson house. This conversation is overheard by hiding Liz, and as Heather sneaks up on Megan from behind, she stabs her in the leg with a sharp hot dog stick. After disarming their opponent, the girls head home, where Victoria Knox is already waiting for Megan. A smug Knox calmly meets Megan, armed with a pair of pistols, and asks the girl to call her number 1, as Principal Hardman once called her. It turns out that Knox was an agent from the first class of the Prescott government agency. The criminal's revelations are interrupted by her thuggish accomplice, who brings in Liz, who has been preparing for an ambush. Now the whole family is assembled, and Knox intends to destroy them. Megan makes one last attempt at saving the day. At gunpoint, she tells Knox that such a pretty blonde is not at all up to Prescott's demands. The provocation works, and Knox challenges the girl to a melee fight. However, this won just a couple of minutes, and Megan is at gunpoint again. the girl is lost and has no plan of action, when suddenly, little ninja Patrick, who has been rummaging through her equipment all this time, throws out a flash grenade. The room is illuminated by a blinding light, which instantly goes out along with the electricity. In the darkness, agents from Prescott infiltrate the house and disarm the criminals. Director Hardman has returned to get Knox and help Megan, for which the girl greets him with a big hug. In addition, the kind-hearted man informs Megan that she can stay with the Larsons and serve as an undercover agent, and gives the girl the keys to the service vehicle so that Liz and Megan can go to the prom. But the fun is already over. In the half-destroyed hall, Megan finds just a small group of peers and Cash with his only loyal fan. Roger, meanwhile, is driving home with his father, as all of a sudden, a helicopter lands on the road in front of them. As he runs out of the car, he sees Megan, who confesses to him.
Roger, I think you are amazing.
The couple kiss and get into the helicopter, where Bernard and Liz are already waiting for them. As always, you'll find the name of the movie in the description of the video. Let us know in the comments. Would you trade the life of a special agent for a normal teenage life? What about the other way around? And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any of the fascinating stories.